how to make your first million in real estate. If you haven't done so already, let me make sure that we are live here so that everyone could see us. Aw, it doesn't want to give it to me in the Facebook group. Okay, I really want to tell y'all about how to make your first million. I might have to repost. Let me see if I can add the channel. Okay. It should be on now. And of course, it doesn't want to go. God love a duck. Here we are. It's live. All right. the tech. But I wanted to go over making your first million in real estate. And this is our Sunday service. We are here to make sure that you guys are, getting the service that you need in order to do your real estate investing, getting business credit, personal credit, money management, like all of the things that are vertical to your wealth. Okay. It's not some random thing over here. It's vertical to your wealth. Real estate investing is number one in my book, which is why I've partnered. Well, I should say, which is why Becky's partnered with me, is the real estate side. And I've partnered with her for the business and personal credit side and money management. So with that being said, I want to let you guys know how, like, your very first property should be like a 32 unit. And we're going to dive into some spooky stuff too. So stay tuned. Your very first property should be 32 units that, is in a market where you can get like $1,000 in rent. And maybe the rents are low and the person who owns it's owned it for 15-ish years. And so with that cash flow coming in, if you bump it just $200 because the market rent is $1,200, like that's how you create your million in real estate, which is 32 units. And everyone's going like, I didn't track that math, Joanna. Let's do the math real quick. One more time. 32 units. Find it in your market. If you can find this in your market where you can, the rent is low. They haven't raised the rents because they didn't need to, and they've had it for 15 years. It's a maybe 1980-ish type building. And the market rent could go up a couple $100. So once you acquire it, all you have to do to create like 1.2 million, it pans out to, is bump it up the $200. Maybe it's when the first year is 100 and the second year is a 200, or maybe you could do all the way to 200 the first year. Know your market. This is part of knowing your market. Okay. And then once you understand this formula, you can then bump it to different levels, creating millions with more units. Now, here's the kicker, is you're doing this because the 200 that you're bumping it up times 32 is going to give you, what's my math? 76,800. I did my math before. 76,800 in additional annual income. Okay. Additional annual income. So that's a total of 200 times 32 times 12. Got it? We tracking?
I'm tracking.
Okay, good.
Thanks for doing the math for me, though. That's awesome. $76,800 extra a year.
Okay.
Some people don't even make that in a year.
Exactly. So that's, you're going, but Joanna, you said 1.2 million. Here's the value of it. So you're creating value. Value in multifamily is the income. And the value of that is the cap rate. What is your cap rate, which is what investors are willing to pay, trade money on? The value is typically anywhere from, well, if you're like in New York or California, it's like 3 or 4%. But the average is around 6, 7, and 8% cap rate. So you take that cap rate, and if it's around 6%, I think I mapped one out at 6.4. So if you take that 6.4, you divide the 76,800 by the 6.4, you'll get your 1.2 million. Now you just created that value in your real estate. So now if you just sold it like the next year even, or the next 2 years out, you've created that 1.2 million that you can now cash in on. Isn't that
Nice.
amazing?
In a year or two? Heck yeah, that's amazing.
Like anyone could do this. And you can simply start off with a 32 unit. Like, and this is why I wouldn't go too far, too much lower in this, because it just, the more you do it, or the less you do of units you have, the longer it takes to get to the million, right?
Gotcha.
So
Mm-hmm.
now let's just make that to a 60 unit, right? And do the same thing. Let's make that to a 100 unit. Let's do the same thing. So do you see how you can get there quicker? Like if you're like at 100 units, I think it's only like 40 or 25 bucks. If you raise the rents 25 bucks, 1.2 million. Anyone could raise rent 25 bucks,
Sure.
right?
Absolutely.
So in this scenario, and we're going to get into our topic today for Sunday service. In this scenario, what do you think the most important thing is?
Well, the question that came to my mind was, okay, who's going to lend me the money to buy a 32 unit? That was the question that came to my mind. So it seems like if I was brand spanking new, I'm getting started in this, and I want to raise the capital and get the 1.2 million, because boy, that sounds sexy. Like, where would I start?
Well, first you have to find the deal.
Sure.
But let's backtrack just a minute here.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most important part of this scenario of the
That
formula?
is the decision to do it. I don't know. I know you're looking for an answer, but
I'm pop quizzing you. So if you could do it at 32 units, raise it 200 bucks, or you could do it at 100 units and raise it 25 bucks. What do you think is the most important thing? The number of units.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's
Sure.
just easier to get there with the larger amount of units. And so
less rent raise, which is
right,
probably easier to do.
easier to bump 25 than it is 200.
Sure.
So back to your original question. Let's go there. How do I afford this? So the number one thing, and I teach, how to get started in real estate investing step by step. And the very first step is knowing your market. So if you know your market, you know that you can get those rents. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's key. Because some people go, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it over here, when it doesn't support those rents. Okay. So go to a market that does have those rents. It doesn't have to be your backyard, even though that's a great place to start, because it gives you tangible steps that you can take. And when you can see, touch, be a part of it, it's easier for you to comprehend. Okay. But if you live in California, I'm going to suggest you don't start there. It's not going to cash flow. Okay. So you'll need to go to a market, okay, to do this, to make sure that you're getting the cash flow, to make sure that you can do the rent bump and do this math. Okay. So market is number one. If you know this and you know the math and you know you could do this, and you can run all the different scenarios that I have of running the numbers, finding the deal, and building your team, the money is the next thing. Once you have all that, the money is a no-brainer, because you have the confidence of the market, you have the confidence of the rents, you have the confidence, you're buying a business. And I hear this all the time. I would love to buy like a laundromat, Joanna. Let's just take it out of real estate altogether. I'd love to buy a laundromat. You can. Anyone could buy a laundromat. And no money out of pocket, or very little, right? That's for all things in life. That's for all things in life. I want to buy a truck. You can, with very little money out of pocket or none, right? Like you could have private money lenders come in and help you, and you can get debt on it from a loan company. So there's multiple ways to get the money. I'm actually teaching a raising capital course right now, Raising Capital 101, all the basics, keep you legit for single family and starting in multifamily. So the reason I'm bringing this all up is because I do hear that number one question. And everyone starts with, where do I get the money?
Right.
Show me the money, Joanna.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's when you know your market, you know the building. And I'm saying this again because you have to know what lender's going to put debt on that. And you
Mm-hmm.
don't know until you actually go through the process. So one of my students was looking at a property, and I said, I want you to call at least 7 lenders to see who's going to put debt on this. Everyone's going to have something different. You could literally Google mortgage brokers near me, hard money lenders, agency loans. If you're going with the large 100, those are typically an agency loan. There's all different types of lenders out there. They're not created equal.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to give you one example of my investor friend who bought a hotel. She ended up calling 60, okay, lenders before she got the one that said, yes, we'll do this with you.
That reminds me of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where like in the very beginning of the book, he's like, this is what I decided to do. And this is how I decided to do it. And I had to approach 32 different lenders before the first one said yes. And he's like, just don't stop. Basically, you just keep going until you find the right lender that will say yes. And so I love that you're modeling that perfect and teaching your people, your students, our students to call the 60 people, right? Or more. It doesn't matter because you're going to get somebody that's going to do the deal. Whenever you keep going through and you know what you're saying, and you know that the number's right, and it's a good deal that they can make money, because that's
Yeah.
the whole point. There's
And what do
lenders
you
out there
think?
looking to help people make money.
What do you think the number one thing is that people look for if they want to invest in your project?
Did you know what you're talking about?
Yes, it's number one.
The posture, right? Like that, you
Posture.
know the language, you know what you're talking about. You don't you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
because they want to make sure the deal doesn't all fall apart. Are you a good deal?
Mm-hmm. Are you a good deal? It's not necessarily the building. Are you a good deal? Is what they're looking at. So if you're not leading with your credibility and you're like, Joanna, I just started, I don't have any credibility, but you do. You have credibility in one of the main things we talk about, your word, being impeccable and always doing your best. People see that in you. What kind of person are you when shit goes south, right? What kind of person are you when you have money in your hand? So people like to say money's the root of all evil. It makes you crazy. And, everything was fine until you had money in your hand. Like, I've heard all these things, right? And people are afraid to have money in their hands. When you are a good steward of money, money flows. Money flows to the attention that you're giving it. It flows to attention. Okay. And when people can see that you're a good steward of money, you have good character, you're a good steward of money, and you know that because of your personal stuff that you take care of, right? We all pay our bills. We all are on time and have our money date and go over our money. So that's a whole nother trading that we do, but I just thought I'd pop that in there.
Sure.
But those are natural. Everyone has a unique story to them that backs up everything that they're doing today. Now write that down, put it somewhere for yourself. What you're doing today, you have to include your backstory. It doesn't have to be all the wounds, all the craziness. Like, oh my God, that poor person. We don't need to hear that. We need to hear your resilience. Because real estate, I don't know if y'all noticed, real estate takes a little bit of resilience to do.
Doesn't everything?
Yeah. Starting a business does, riding a bike, tying your shoes when you first learn. It takes resilience. I was listening to a podcast, I think it was Ed Milet, and he was saying like an infant is resilient in learning how to walk. They see all the people around them and they want to learn, and they get on the coffee table and they try and they get bumped and bruised and they keep trying and they wiggle and they woggle and they but they keep trying. It's like 1,000 times before they actually get some sort of stability, right? Like 1,000 times. It might take 1,000 pitches. It might take 1,000 requests or conversations that you need to have. So I would start now. I think that's what stops people, is because it takes time.
Mm.
And we all want that easy button overnight. Well, where's the money? Just give it to me. Nobody's going to just give it to you. It's like, I was listening to another, it was Kim Walsh, and she was saying that creepy date, like you meet someone and they want to take you on a 10-day cruise and you just met them 2 minutes ago. You're like, oh, it's kind of creepy.
Am I ever coming back?
Right? It's kind of spooky.
There you go.
Spooky, our word of the day, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say, I love that shirt.
Thank you. We were shopping and I was like, I just need something Halloween sweatery. I'm sure I'll be wearing it a few times. So I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks so soft and comfortable. And it is.
It does. Nice. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tweak this, segment it into our next topic here, but resilience is key. And when you could do this and get into the motion of the ocean, right? Like how real estate works and business works, it just starts, it's a natural surf that you end up doing with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you first get in to learn how to surf, it's going to be a hot mess. And
Mm-hmm.
why do we keep going back into the water, even though we know we're just going to fall on our face? Go back in the water and we can't stand up on the surfboard yet. Go back in the water, go back in the water, go back in the water. Here's why. Becky just spent an amazing day with her grandfather. And I just want to ask you a couple of questions about what you were able to do, because you're an entrepreneur, because you were able to take the time, and you have the flexibility backing you up. Tell me what that was like to be able to have that time freedom to spend.
So fun. My granddad actually turned 90 on Friday. And so we took the day and went on a train with him. And so it's like one of those bucket list things that he had, that he really wanted to go ride on a train. And so it was so fun. And amazingly, my whole family was able to get together with him and share this experience with him. And it was the coolest thing. We were like in this box car, and it was like we picked the dining box car, so we got to like have lunch and ride from, I don't know, it was Winslow, Arkansas or Van Buren to Winslow, Arkansas. And the conductor dude was just as cool as my granddad. My granddad's like 90 years old and getting around just fine. Like you would never know. He acts like he's a 70-year-old. He still gets up every single day at like 5 or 6 in the morning, right? Like every single day. He has cattle that he runs. Like he is an active dude. I can't even describe how amazing that is. And his mom lived till 98, my great grandma. And so I'm just curious. Anyways, it was really good because we don't get together enough. And so the fact that the whole family could be there, we took like a flip book full of pictures and all the things. And so the conductor, he was like older too. And so he got to tell all the really cool stories, and he had lots of jokes, like the dad jokes, like we were driving past the cattle and he's like, yeah, the ones that lay on the ground, they're ground beef, like little jokes like that. And I was like, oh, this guy, he's got it going on. Anyways, he's talking about his land and how he works 15 hours a day still. And I don't think he's doing it because he like has to. I think he really likes doing it. Like he looked so happy, and was so impressed that my granddad was there. And anyway, so we had an excellent time. And then I kind of rushed back here because I wanted to be here for you guys and do the Sunday service. And so it's so important that we get the word out on all things of my side of making people look like they need to on paper to get approved. Right. And then obviously your side of the the coin where we teach people how to create a true residual income so that your family can do fun things whenever they arise.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to ask everybody really quick, what's your favorite dad joke? Like these are important things to talk about. You made me remember about my dad because we were, you know, it was in California, driving down the freeway. Look at all those cows on the hill. Like, how do they stand on the hill? And my dad said that they had one leg shorter than the other. And I go, well, how do they turn around? They have to go all the way around the hill. I'm like, oh my God. He had me
My
going.
dad.
He had me going.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the brown ones were chocolate milk, right? So,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
My dad's favorite thing to say, because he used to fart a lot. And he would look and he'd be like, look, it's a pissant. It's a pissant on a motorcycle. That's what he would say when he would fart. Or he would say it was a spider barking. So you guys, dads, can put that in your pocket, like a spider barking. Anyways, he was so silly. My dad.
I got a duck and a frog. Must have been a frog somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so everyone put in the chat what their favorite dad joke was. That was good memories. And I just love that you get to share that with us. And there is so much that we get to do, that we choose to do, so that we can do the things that we get to do. I don't know. I hope that made sense. It did in my brain, anyways. Which is why I was saying earlier that why we get back in the ocean trying to learn how to surf, why the baby gets up 1,000 times to try and walk, why business owners are resilient in their business to keep going and doing the things, why Becky made it back here to make sure she was here to serve the community at our designated time and being a diligent business person, because we get to, right? We get to have all the wonderful things, spending time with our family, adjusting things as needed to, if there was an emergency that happened, she'd be okay. Sure. Right. So anyways, discipline is a word that came to Ed Milet was talking about, was discipline. And discipline is actually freedom. And when you were talking about, he gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. That's a discipline that was learned that makes him feel human and good and, purposeful and all the things we look for.
I think it keeps him healthier.
Totally.
Yeah.
Mentally, you have to be there mentally first to want to do it. Right. And a lot of people don't think that with like, oh, I'm retired, I don't have to do anything. And that's what leads to the decline in health. Is comfort. True. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're really uncomfortable and you're like, oh, I don't know how to get out of this hole. But when you mentally have that habit of getting up at 5 o'clock every morning, the discipline of doing all the chores, this was all a discipline he had to learn at one point. Now it's a habit and he enjoys it. His health feels good. His body feels good when he does it. And it keeps him in the motion of the ocean. Yeah. You keep going and trying to surf, you eventually are like, you're just cruising and riding those big old waves. Like, I don't know if I could ever do that, but
I keep going back to this thing. I've been thinking about it this week, so this will be good for everybody. Beachbody. I used to do Beachbody like every single day, and they used to it comes across the screen and it says decide, commit, succeed. Decide, commit, succeed. And so I always think that still plays in my brain. It's one of those subconscious things that I implanted there a long time ago. And so I think everything starts with a decision, like a decision to do something, and then you either take action, because knowledge without action. There was this amazing talk that I heard Tuesday morning in my money management group. God, he did such a great job. And he was talking about how he's like, do you remember when it hit me so hard too. He's like, you remember when you first fell in love, like the first time you ever fell in love, and you would pick up your car and carry it home you would do anything to make it work for that, to be with that other person, right? And then I think as a society, like, we get damaged, and so we forget what that felt like. And
Mm,
so he was reminding me what that felt like, and it's just exactly what I needed to hear right on time. And I thought, what if you treated your life like you were in love again? Like you were in love again. And so for me, it's like I need to learn to love myself more and give myself more self-care, so that and it felt exciting. Like, it felt exciting to feel
giddy, like
feeling.
being in love.
I remember what it felt to be in love for the first time again. And then I was like, well, what if you applied that same concept to what you want to do with your business? Like like that's how everybody should be. And when you're in business, I know Grant Cardone says, treat every single prospect that comes to you like they're a millionaire. And so
Mm,
if you're treating everybody like that, everybody's treating everybody like millionaires, then man, this world would be such a nicer place to be in. And so I think those are my two aha big things this week that I think apply to everybody in this world. So,
absolutely. To be giddy again
right?
is
And I
missing from a
am.
lot
I
of
woke
people.
up more excited just having that thought, like, what was it like to be in love for the first time? And like to really apply that to my life daily has shifted my life even in last week. So,
Oh,
yay.
that's good. And even when you see that, and I just keep thinking about your grandpa that, he's like 90 years old. This was his 90th birthday.
Mm.
And he's still full of vigor, you know? He's not
He
like,
was
oh,
so
Rose.
happy yesterday to have his whole family with him. You know what I mean? Like, that was a great thing. And so I got to hug him so big, and it was just
There's,
nice to take the time to love on him.
there's 20-year-olds that don't have that kind of vigor.
It's
You know
true.
what I mean?
It's true. Because
We've
the
all been,
world has kicked people down so much, I think they don't even know how to find it anymore. They're not taught to find it anymore. There's nobody lifting other people up in this society. Well, there is, because my really good friend Joanna called me yesterday and she said, "I'm so proud of you." And I was like, "Oh, thanks for lifting me up. I'm proud of you too." Anyway, so
yes, that's what we do for each other. Life is a journey, and we're just on this journey of fun. While we're making money, we get to experience so many different things. And um, I just, I think it was, well, I know it was. It was a different time where they had to fight for everything. There was a discipline that was instilled just to survive. And
mhm.
if you look up the word survive, let me look at that. Survive meaning, guys, look that up. It means to continue to live or exist, especially in spite of danger or hardship. Okay, look things like, read the dictionary, dictionary.com, Webster. Um, when you look up words and see their true meanings, it changes how you feel about them. Some
Mm,
people take survived like, oh, I barely survived, or I'm surviving, and like they get pull this drama to it.
mm,
The "sir" in it is to exist, right? It means you're alive, to remain alive. And so many people are dead by age 20, like mentally. They're not, they're like, oh, my life sucks, or oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. And they forget the live part.
the
Uh,
love part.
the love part, exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. To love is to be human. We were given this by God to be able to give, exude the love, and be giddy. And have you ever had butterflies in your stomach before? And you're just like so giddy. Don't forget that. Don't
Mhm.
get lost in the minutia of life. Remain giddy, remain in love, and maybe you find something that loves you back. Maybe it's ceramics that makes you feel good. Maybe it's, your kids, you get to spend more time with the family. Um, and I know it's been tough for a lot of people to be in a W-2 job these past few years, barely making it, can't buy a house and whatnot. Things are loosening up. The market's, was frozen for a minute, but it's breaking up. The ice is breaking up. And things are starting to move around. And you do have somebody who's in office, who's in real estate. So all of those things are changing for the better for business people and real estate. I won't get into anything else. I don't care what you think about them. But that part is important to me because I'm a real estate investor. I'm a business owner. I geek out on the tax and legal. And if you read tax law, you would know that being a business owner and having real estate assets is literally how you pay next to zero in taxes. And if you have a W-2, that is the highest tax bracket is W-2.
So break that down a little bit.
Yeah.
Break that down a little bit. I want to know why you think, because I have so many people that I've ran into that don't, so they'll say that, you'll say something like that and I'll be like, well, I'm not going to read tax law. That's crazy. Like, I don't even know if I could read it, but think like in really simple terms, like if somebody has a W-2 job versus running their own business, like how do they get better tax breaks?
So it is 76% of business owners overpay the IRS. Let's just go there. W-2 people don't even know that they can. Well, maybe they do know. They just feel that they're stuck. One of the two. If you are a W-2, you're like, I rely on my job, Joanna. I can't go start a business, and you can and still have your W-2. And please do, because that's how you pay next to zero in taxes, is having companies. I'm going to give you Jared as an example. Was talking about he makes 2.2 million as earned income. He has 7 LLCs that are like diversions, if you will, for his income to pay less in taxes. He paid $47,000 in taxes. But listen to this. He saved $802,000 by doing just this map. Okay. And just this map means it's all specific to you. I can't give you an exact one. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a financial advisor. So please get with whom that needs to be. I'm a strategist and I have my experience. Becky's a strategist. She has her experience. This is how we help you to ask the right questions to your attorney and CPAs. Because most of the time they're not going to, oh, you should do this. They're not going to say that. They're like, what do you want to do? There you go.
It's just like a doctor. You tell them all the symptoms and they're like, oh, this is what's going on. And so same thing with taxes, right? Like a tax person, they just want your numbers. You are responsible for figuring out what it should be wrote off in your business because it's your business. What was the specific business expense? And so strategy wise, they can help some, but they're not going to give you all the answers. Not always. Some of them will. And those are the ones you want to find, is the ones that are like, hey, how do we structure this best so that you pay the least amount of taxes? And they'll truly map out that structure plan the smartest way possible. So those are the ones you want to interview and find. And I would say, maybe get in ChatGPT and be like, what should I be asking my tax person?
Hey, I actually have a checklist that I can give y'all.
Yay.
What you should do by the end of the year. Would that be helpful?
That would be helpful to me. Please. I would love that. Okay,
perfect. I'll, if you guys need it, if you guys are listening, it just pops in my head down. I'm like, I should share it with you guys. If you guys want that, put in the DM or put the, what should I have them type in there? Just try
tax checklist.
Tax checklist.
Or
type
end
it
of the
in
year.
The comments, send me a DM, do what it takes to get a hold of it, because you'll want to know these things. So many people do this wrong, and it's not because we're idiots, right? It's not because we try and follow law. We Google tube trying to figure it all out. a simple checklist can put you in line. You go, got this, don't need this, got this, don't need that. I mean, it's just simple,
I
right?
love checklists.
Good, good. I want it to be helpful to everyone. I have it for my investors that work with me in my real estate, helping them to understand what is the best tax um, diversion for them, because the simple one is to invest in real estate. There's other things that go with it. Real estate just happens to be one of them, and it's my main product that I do is real estate investing. So what else can you do as an entrepreneur? Maybe it's your structure, your LLC structure. And so if you're making over 6 figures, you might want to be taxed as an S corp. Again, I'm not giving legal advice, but something you want to check into with your attorney. Should I be getting an S corp? Like go ask those questions. And it should don't let anyone talk you into get a Wyoming LLC and all that other stuff. You don't need it, especially when you're just starting. And there's a couple companies I'm not going to say out loud, but that's what you need, this holding company and a Wyoming company and an LLC and this and this and this. And next thing you know, you're 7 LLCs in and you're just starting your business. Please don't do that. Okay.
Oh, and Doris asked for the tax checklist, so we will make sure to get that to you, Miss Doris.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can't see the chat, so thank you for seeing that.
Hi, here.
Doris. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that do LLCs incorrectly, and it's just because we're trying to Google our way through life. And I get it. So ask your questions. We've been through it, multiple LLCs. I geek out on the tax and legal side of things. It's just been once I learned taxes back in, what was it, 2011? I learned taxes.
A long time ago in a far, far away land. Yep.
80,000 pages of jargon that nobody really wants to understand, nor do they want you to understand it. But I get it. And let me just download this matrix pill to you.
Sure.
But the tax law is begging you. It is begging you to start a business. And
it's true.
It's 270 deductions that you get to take. Did you know there's 270 deductions that you get to take? Crazy.
Where's that list?
Right? So you have to know what is best for you, which is why I created the checklist. So I created it out of one of my investors came to me, and I'm like always preaching, go get your tax strategy and all the things, right? And she went to her potential tax person, and said, I need, these things. And the tax person said, I don't know what you're talking about. And she said, good Lord, help me. Because even all the big gurus, Grant Cardone and Robert Kiyosaki, and like big people are saying the same thing. And this person said, who's that?
I know. It's so crazy to me.
And they do taxes for a living.
Yeah, right? Also, one of the things that I found a lot being in the business credit space and helping people find access to funding for their business, I found that their tax person structures their LLCs as a single sole proprietorship. And it always needs to be a multiple member. Like if you're looking to find funding for your business, or if you're ever going to look to try to expand or scale your business, it needs to be a multiple member. And I've had people come back to me after I've had them set it up as a multiple member, and their tax person's like, why did you do that? Like they don't understand, because they don't understand what my client is trying to do. And so so that checklist is helpful.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, in the eyes of the law across the nation, by the way, in the eyes of the law, you are considered a business when it's multiple members. In the eyes of the law, you are considered a sole proprietor if there's just one person in an LLC.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Which
not a
means
real
you can
business.
still get funding for your business, but it's going to be under your personal. It's going to be personally guaranteed every time. They will always look at your personal credit to get things done. But if you set it up as a multiple member, you have a much better chance of getting much bigger funding. And so, and get it in your business name, and not have to personally guarantee it. So, if you go to regular old Joe Banker, 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you, oh, well, we don't even look at business credit, which, by the way, is not true. They look at your business credit every single time they give you any kind of business loan. Even if you're doing it in your personal, they still look at your business credit because they want to make sure you don't have any liens, you don't have tax liens or judgments or anything else. They have to pull a business credit to look at that, but they don't have to disclose that they looked at your business credit in order to give you a loan, because business credit's like the wild west. It's all the business side. So there's not all these rules like there is on the personal side, where the Fair Credit Reporting Act protects us and all the things that happen on the personal side. On the business side, it's so very different. And so anyway.
Well, I'm going to take that into real estate because it's the same thing on the real estate side. You have that whole consumer protection thing in single family, 4 units, makes it so difficult, and all this minutia stuff, right?
Yeah.
Once you get into commercial, which is 5 units and up, it's like the wild west. You could do almost anything in it, and you're buying a business. So the cash flow qualifies you. It's a whole different world to get into. And people are like, oh my God, I can never do, 7 units, or, maybe 7, but no more than that. Right. I'm like, oh my God, you should be thinking 32 units and bigger. And I say that because not to, well, Joanna, you have 25 years experience. Of course you could say that. You didn't start out that way. I probably would have been freaked out too if someone told me to start with 32 units. So don't get me wrong. I was freaked out the very first property I bought. Walked around that building 17 times. What the heck? Cursing at myself. I'm like, okay, we're just going to do it and figure out. And it was fine. It worked out just fine. My only regret, and I'm going to give you guys my regret. Please take it home to you. Write this down. My only regret is that I did not start in commercial real estate years ago. Years ago. I could have been playing in the bigger sandbox, having more assets, having more cash flow, living off passive income, more steady passive income, more larger passive income, if I had started in multifamily sooner.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's like collapse in time for people right now. And you've already gave us the formula at the very beginning with the 32 unit, and to raise the rent $200, or start with 100 unit and raise the rent $25, and then that gets you to $1 million in cash flow. Like, you just gave us a playbook that anybody could follow. So thank you. And then you've even created a raising capital real estate course. So you're giving everybody step 1, start here, step 2, start here. Like it's amazing. Like, that's just so valuable. Like, it's a really valuable thing that I think the market needs exactly right now. Like, it's right on time for what's going on in that thaw and ice and all the things. Like people jumping in. Didn't you say the other day, the water's warm? Come on in.
Come on in.
Yeah.
There's a big turn happening, right? There's trillions of dollars coming due in multifamily. So there's a big shift happening right now. It's the time for the newbie to jump in and get it, is what I'm saying. And then all the big wigs are kind of sitting on ice, if you will, because their plan got altered through the rate hike and trying to refinance and all the things. So they're doing some other stuff to fix that, like grabbing some old stuff and selling it. They're having to sell it to fix their new problem, right? So who are they selling that to? You. Right? They're cash cow. They're selling to you because they have to fix this problem. Okay, so just know, I think the number was 6,512 multifamily buildings are coming due. I can't buy them all. You can't buy them all. There's a piece for
Maybe
every.
we can. Maybe we can get together and come together and buy them all.
So I have a 94 unit that I just got a hold of Friday. Just got a hold of one Friday.
Wow.
It's brought to my attention. I did not physically find it or talk to the broker. It was brought to my attention. So, keyword to everybody listening. Brought to my attention that she's like, "Oh my God, how do I take this down?" I'm like, come here. Let me show you. So there are so many deals out there, and the number one thing that I could tell you guys to do, even though you're thinking you don't have money to do it, don't need that. Even though you don't understand how all the bells and whistles work, it's fine. Just find someone who does. The biggest thing I can tell you is to build your credibility. And by that meaning study your market. Pick one market. Here's what I hear a lot, Becky, is, oh, I'll do anywhere in the US as long as the number makes sense. I'm like, oh God, that's a newbie. I'm not even going to talk to them. Okay.
So if somebody was to start to study their market, where would you tell them to start?
I would tell them to start in their own backyard if they could, so that you could understand it better. And then understand if you're in cash flowing market or not. And by that meaning cash flow is if you had debt on it and the rents coming in covered that debt and you had at least $200 cash flow in it per door, that would be a cash flowing market. If you don't, go find a market that does. Okay. And that's your North Star to find the right market. And again, it's that 32 unit that the rents are about $1,000. So one of my students came to me. She goes, well, I want to go here. I want to go there. And I want to go there. And I'm like, okay, well, let's dial it in. Which one has the highest rents and the shorter value of the property? Okay. So what I mean by that is price per unit is lower. The cash flow is high. So it's going to cash flow. Right? So cash flow is king. Cash flow is queen. Cash flow is everything you want to call it because that's all that matters is cash flow. And you get there by the most important thing, the number of units, right? That's what's important. What's going to give you the most. Because even if it was tight to 100, the more units you have, it would be made up for, right? So if you have a vacancy, it's okay. You still have cash flow coming in. Do we want more than that? Absolutely. Those are some minimums to look at.
So, okay. So I buy 1,000 unit property or 100 units, sorry. 100 unit property. 1,000 units. Fine. Okay. Now what? Now I find a property manager and I have to be all the things and I have to be in there fixing it, or like, is that the thing now? Like, will all my time be eaten up by taking over 100 unit property? Like, is that, this is a newbie question. I know the answer, but I want you to answer because some people might be thinking this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to take you back to what I said. My regret, I wish I would have jumped into multifamily sooner because I put a lot of elbow grease into single family.
Yes.
I had to be the one. I had to be the one. I had to be the one. I had to wear all the hats. Working with the contractors, getting in there, being with the contract, doing my own work because they weren't there to show up to do it. Doing the lease agreements, being my own property management, being, like all the things, swinging the hammer and getting the money and running the deal. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And let me tell you, once you get into multifamily, it's not as much work. Why? You say you're like, but that's a whole lot more units, a whole lot more people, a whole lot more building, right? It's because you're playing team and it's divide and conquer, right? So you come together as a team and everyone has a goal of asset management, the acquisition, the capital raising, the team comes together. And that's what I talk about by raising capital and being team is it's like getting married, right? So you want to date people for a minute. So networking is a big deal. Networking with people to see their personality And not just one night. It's not going to the bar, having a drink, and going, I kind of like this person. And then you wake up the next morning, you don't even know your last name. Don't do that. Okay. Do not joint venture with someone you just met. That's a Carrie Underwood song, in case you guys are all wondering. That is a big deal. You don't want to JV with just anyone. So I would say that would be a first step is your market and network with people in that market. Because even if you're not in that market and you have to go remotely, which I've done plenty of remote real estate, 6-figure flips plus multifamily, you need to be able to lean on that person in boots on the ground in the area that you want to go. So my boots on the ground in North Carolina, my partner's Clayton over there. He runs to all the buildings. He walks me through with the building like this. So we walk the building together. Okay. I do everything from this window right here and this phone. Okay. So there's ways to do this remotely. So don't freak out if you don't have a cash flow market. Oh God, I can't do real estate because I'm in California and it's not cash flowing. It's okay. Pick another market. Okay. There's all kinds of them. All kinds of them. And even just your state, there's also little pockets that you can get into that do cash flow, by the way. So see if you can find those pockets. And how do you find those, Joanna? Like one thing leads to the next, right?
Sure.
Doing your market.
Probably just take your course.
Yeah, I'm doing the whole course right here, laying it all out to you. The first part, again, is your market. I'm going to go over it 1,000 times. That your market is number one. So choose one that cash flows because everything should cash flow day one. Don't go, oh, like 5 years from now, it's going to cash flow. No, it's not a deal. Next year, nope. 3 months, it will, nope. Cash flow day one. Cash flow day one. Okay. Take that home. All right. So I'm starting to get on my soapbox about a lot of things. And we're nearing our hour. So
I know.
What should I end with? I could do all day long talking real estate. That is my favorite subject.
I think people get spooked out and they just don't start. And I think that comes from not deciding. And so I think if we had like one message for today is you don't get spooked out and commit to getting started. Make the decision that you're going to do this no matter what, because you've got the team in place in order to be super ridiculously successful with this. And every single day that you delay doing this or getting started or deciding to commit is one day more that it takes you to get to where you want to be. Don't make the same mistake that Joanna did, where she started with single family because it seemed easier and it seemed less stressful than multifamily. But actually, it's a lot easier, is the message that I got today. And that she spent a lot of time in grunt work doing the things in the houses, one house at a time. It's like trying to run through water while the cement is drying. And so you get stuck sometimes in the middle of single family because you can't move to the next step fast enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. And until like, now there's some people out there that have fix and flip businesses, if you will.
Sure.
That's a whole
6-figure flip sounds flipping amazing, right? But you could do the multifamily while you're doing a 6-figure flip, can't you? Can you not do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can totally do that. And back to the 32 units, that's $76,000 in cash flow per year, in addition to, right? So what was the cash?
$1,000 a month times, or $1,000 per unit times 32 units. 30. What is that?
So that was just another 200 to that. So if you do the 1,200,
oh yeah.
times 32 units times 12 months, that's $460,000.
Mm-hmm.
460,000. Now let's divide that in half because you need maintenance and all the other things,
You
expenses
hire the team.
on the team. So 230,000 right out the gate. Right?
Which $230,000 a year is pretty good income on something that's passive that other people are taking care of. So why wouldn't you want to do that? Who wouldn't want to add? You could do that once a year, every year, and be cash flowing in 5 years. Like,
yeah, so probably your
$1 million a year, right? After all your expenses.
Yeah, probably for your cash flow for that particular scenario would be around 76,000 because we didn't include debt service. But that extra $200 that you created in the value of the property, 1.2 million, that is the cash flow that you're looking for that's going to go in your pocket. Yay. Right? Because you already adjusted when you purchased it, you adjusted for all the costs and everything in it, the debt, the everything. Now you own it, and now the money coming in, you just bumped it up 200 per door, which is 76,000. That's all extra in your pocket. Mm-hmm. That's all extra in your pocket. One more time, that's all extra in your pocket. Now that's just 32 units,
right?
Well, what if you bought another 32 units? What if you bought another 32 units, or the 94 units that we're looking at right now?
Sure. And
it just goes like a hockey stick.
Sure. We like the hockey stick method, right?
Yeah. So it's okay to be spooked about real estate, but it's not okay to stay stuck. Passive income used to be a choice. It used to be a luxury. And now it's almost mandatory that you get passive income.
People are working 3 jobs for no good reason these days. 3 jobs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got a really brilliant thing that I'm going to roll out really, really soon. It came to me as a download while I was spending my time driving. And I was like, oh no, it'd be so much fun. You know, it's going to be so much fun. The money management system that I have. Because we do those free financial analysis, like, you know, put everybody's debts in and what's your debt-free date and how much interest can you save by utilizing this program, right? So I want to do a dream financial analysis.
Ooh.
So in other words, we can take where you're at and put all your numbers in, and here's your debt-free date and all the things. And then we can say, okay, now you want to own what? What kind of car do you want to have? How much is the car? What kind of real estate do you want to have? How many units do you want to have? And we do a dream financial analysis too. Okay, if you did this, this is what this would look like. This is how long it would take you to be completely debt-free and completely cash flowing. And then what do you want to do? What jet do you want to buy? Like, because we're going to need some tax write-off somewhere. But anyway, what island do you want to buy? Like, I want to do dream financial analysis. That's my next, like, just in time for Christmas. Like, I'm excited about those because I nerd out on numbers. But yeah, so
if you guys want a dream analysis, get on the wait list. Type in dream money analysis in the comments, and then we can lay that out for you. Becky will reach out to you and lay it out for you. That sounds awesome.
I know. Like, I'm going to do one for me. That's what's going to happen.
Anyway. Probably where it came from, right?
Well, yeah.
That's where they all come from. It's like
so cool because we do vision boards, right? What do you want to have and blah, blah, blah. You take the vision board and put it in a money, like what would it take to do that? Because how do you really have a mapped out plan? It's just all like out there on a vision board, which is good because it goes into your subconscious, right? And then anyways,
subconscious, I love that.
And here's the for real money plan, right? Because we spit out a summary and this is how, anyways.
We make it a reality.
Exactly.
And the only thing that's stopping you from, dreaming big, doing big things, 6 inches of real estate between your ears. Once I learned that, That's how I was able to acquire 134 doors in 1 year. How I was able to raise 1.4 million in 90 days. And now I teach my students, my nation, over 5,000 students across the nation that I've trained. Um, that's a big deal, right? That's a big deal to be able to. If you'd have told me I'd have done this like when I first started as a mortgage broker back in 2000, like I would stand in the back of the networking meeting, over 300 people there, and I'm going, hi.
Me too. Me too. I did it. I went. I didn't make a single connection, but I was there.
Crazy. So we've come a long way, that's for sure. And you all get to as well. You all get to ride the train that you want to train of life, the train that you want to ride of life, and make it go as fast as you want to. Awesome. So again, don't get spooked at all the things that are out there because it can be confusing. I get it. It's a little spooky. Going, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to. I get it. Have the courage to step through it anyways. Have the courage to step through anyways. It'll change your life. With that being said, that's all I got for you today. We'll see you next Sunday. Please type your questions inside of the comments. Let us know if you're listening to this on YouTube. Please subscribe so that we can best serve you. Write your comments. Let us know what you want to hear from us. And we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.